Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are talking about my December reading wrap up. Also, welcome to 2025. It's crazy that I'm saying this. I really hope that this year is going to be filled with a lot of love, a lot of growth, because I know that 2024 was kind of a shitty year for everybody apparently, so I hope we all grow from that. Enough being said, let's get with the video. So I read 11 books. This is only 10, but I did read one on my Kindle that I don't physically own. So let's get into it. So the first one is Chasing the Puck. I don't remember the author's name, but I'll put it right here because that's the one I read on my Kindle because it's on Kindle Unlimited and I don't own it. Because I went through a phase of just reading books that are not on my physical TBR. So I rated it a 4-star. And it's about, I don't remember the girl's name, but the guy's name is Tuck. Basically, he's a hockey player, and she is an aspiring actress, and she's steering clear from Tuck because he's a playboy, and he also reminds her of, like, her ex-boyfriend and whatever, so she's just like, I'm gonna steer clear. And then she has to actually tutor him, because I think he's a hockey captain or something, so he needs to be tutored and she's a tutor. And then they end up being out of town for something and there's one bed and you know. I didn't know this book was a second book in an interconnected standalone series, so I don't know if I'm going to read the first one or not, but it was pretty good. It was pretty quick too. The next book I read was Fierce Obsession by S. Mastery. I listened to this on audio format. This is about Knox and Aurora, and basically they are husband and wife. This kind of goes between past and present timeline because they got married when they were young because of some reason that you find out throughout the book. She runs away from him, and now she's engaged to someone else, and he pops back up because her fiance and him are on the same hockey team. So then he's just, like, threatening to tell the fiance that, like, they're married and stuff. I think I rated it a 4. It's not bad. I didn't know that this was the last book in the Hockey God series. I thought Twisted Obsession was the last book, but actually it's the 4th book and this is the last book. So I kind of went out of order and I don't know how to feel about it. Next is The Inmate by Frida McFadden. This is the first book I read by Frida McFadden, and I'm kind of like, what? I think I need to read more books by her because I was actually captured by the story like the entire time. I think I remember I was reading this on my Kindle and I remember being up till 3 a.m. to finish this book. I think I rated it a 4 because I don't think thriller mysteries are ever gonna be a 5. Maybe that will change. I don't know. But I'm not going to say anything about this book because, like, with mystery books and thriller books, I think you kind of need to go into everything, like, into it blindly because then it's just going to ruin it. Basically, it's about this girl, Brooke. So she's a nurse practitioner in this prison in her small town that she grew up in, and she moved back because her parents passed away and she got the house and whatever. So that's all I'm going to say. Next is Next of Kin. I rated this a 4 as well. This is also my first book by Hannah Bonham Young, and it was really good, so I just bought out on a limb because I love this book so much, and I need to read more of this author's work. This is about Chloe and Warren, and basically Chloe gets a phone call one random day, and it's child services, and the girl on the phone is like, your mom just gave birth to another kid. She wants to see you. Basically, she doesn't know her mom that well because she got put into the system because her mom kept choosing, like, I think drugs over her. Anyways, so she goes to the hospital. Her mom's like, you're going to take the kid. But there's one problem. She is not financially stable enough to take care of a child. And here comes Warren. He has to also adopt his little brother. There's one problem with that. He doesn't have a good place to stay. So, Child Protective Services are like, we have this new program where you kind of just live with another person that's trying to get custody over someone. so then you can benefit from each other. And basically, so they move in together so then Warren can benefit of having a good place to stay because Chloe has a good place. And then Chloe benefits because he has good financial stability. It was pretty good. I loved it. Next are these 5 books that I did in a reading vlog. So I'm not going to go into full detail because I did in that video, but in case you guys didn't see it, I'm going to just quickly rapid fire. First book in that video was My December Darling by Lauren Asher. I rated this a 4-star. It's just a quick, easy novella. But this is about Catalina and Luke, and basically Catalina is a travel nurse, and she goes back to her hometown that she grew up in, which is called like Wisteria, I think. And basically she's there for a month because her sister is getting married to her ex-boyfriend, but it's not, there's no bad blood. It's not like what you think. But anyways, and then enters the best man, which is Luke, and basically he loves Catalina since the moment that he saw her, and he's a doctor, and during their lunch breaks or whatever, he helps her write the speech because she's the maid of honor and she's been having trouble. And yeah, they get closer together, and yeah. Next I read How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. I rated this a 4-star as well. It was pretty cute. It's about Story and Cole, and basically Story comes back to her hometown to take care of her great aunt because her great aunt fell and broke her hip and whatever, so she needs to be taken care of. And so Story comes back with her sister Taryn. All her great aunt wants is for her to enter this Kringle competition, and then Cole is like, she doesn't deserve to win the Kringle competition, so then he enters it to make sure that she loses because something happened in the past that now, like, they hate each other. Also, something happens with the candy cane, and I don't know how to feel about it. Next, The Christmas Tree Farm by Lori Gilmore. I listened to it on audio format, and I'm glad I did because I don't think I would have pushed through it. I rated this at 3.5 because there was not much happening. This is about Kira and Bennett, and basically Kira moves to this small town, buys this Christmas tree farm, so now she has to like figure out how to do all that, and Bennett gets sent to the Christmas tree farm to investigate like a treasure that the whole town thinks is there. And then he sees her and instantly falls in love. They basically forget the whole plot of the treasure, literally the whole time. And I feel like they only really wanted to sleep with each other. I don't know. But Bennett was only supposed to be there for a little bit because he was visiting his sister, but he lives in California. Next was Love Like Farms by B.K. Borison. I also listened to this on audio format, and it was really cute. I rated this a 4-star as well. So this is about Stella and Luca, and basically Stella also owns a Christmas tree farm. Her Christmas tree farm is kind of like struggling right now financially and whatever, so she enters this competition that this social media influencer is doing, and basically like if you win the competition you win a lot of money, but if you're in the competition you get great social media exposure. So she's like, either way I'm winning, like whatever. But when she enters this competition she lies and says that she owns this Christmas tree farm with her boyfriend. Now she doesn't have a boyfriend, so here comes Luca, her best friend, and so now they got a fake date. Next is The Christmas Fix by Lucy Score. I rated this a 3.5. Now in the vlog I said 3.5, but then I put a thing saying 3.75, but I think I'm going to keep it at 3.5 because I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, because I was like, maybe I just read too many Christmas books in a row and maybe I was just tired, I don't know. But I don't think so, because I've watched a lot of Christmas vlogs and they all had the same problems as I did, so obviously it wasn't me. I feel like this book was a little too long. It could have been shorter, and not much Christmas was happening. So basically this is about Catalina and Noah. Noah's a single dad. He lives in this small town called Mary. Basically in this small town a hurricane happened, I think, so there was like a massive flood, And Catalina, she has this TV show where she renovates things and whatever. So she wanted to renovate this town before Christmas happens because there's an annual Christmas parade or whatever. Noah doesn't want that to happen, but then Catalina ends up tricking him into agreeing. So it's kind of like an enemies to lovers. But like I said, not much Christmas was happening, and I felt like it was kind of like a switch happened where it's like, oh my god, I actually want to be with you, instead of them hating each other. And I was like, okay, this is so weird. I wish I loved it because I love Lucy's score. It was just a miss for me. Next is If Only I Had Told Her by Laura Nowlin. Now, if you follow me on TikTok, you would have seen me sobbing because of this book. I literally was sobbing throughout the whole thing. Like, well, maybe not the whole thing. I would say maybe 40% through, that's when it started. This follows the first book, which is If He Had Been With Me. Oh, I rated it a 5-star. Okay, like, I don't know what to tell you. This follows the first book, If He Had Been With Me, but basically this is told in Finney's point of view. No one told me that, like, halfway through it went into Jack's point of view, and then like after that it was Autumn's point of view. No one told me it was in 3 different point of views. I thought it was just Finney, but it was Finney, Jack, and Autumn. Autumn is the girl from the first book, and Jack is Finney's best friend. So I'm not gonna say much because it's a second book, but basically Finney's point of view is just what happened, exactly pretty much what happened during the first book. And then when it gets to Jack and Autumn's point of view, it's what happened after what happened at the end of the first book. That's all I'm gonna say. But it was heartbreaking, and I still think about it to this day. I know I only read it like a few days ago, but like I'm still thinking about it, and I'm gonna cry just thinking about it because I have a problem apparently. I loved this book because like when you got to Jack and Autumn's point of view, you saw their growth, because like Laura Nowlin did such a good job at portraying grief, and she did such a good job of showing their healing process. And I don't know, I was just sobbing because like it was just so good. Like you went through their journey of healing. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. And last but definitely not least is Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. I rated this a 4-star. I think it might be 4.5. This is definitely my favorite book in this series so far. I think there's only gonna be one more after this. This is about Teddy and Gus. And if you've read Done and Dusted, you would be so excited to read this, because literally in Done and Dusted, which is the first book in the series, you see these two bickering and you're just like, I need their story right now. Basically, so now you get their story. And basically something happened between Teddy and Gus years ago, and so that's why they hate each other. And basically, Gus is a single dad. Teddy works at like a clothing store, and basically she loses her job because the owner of the store sold it and whatever, so she loses her job. And then Gus has a baby mama, and they co-parent all the time, but she's gone to a different place for like a few months, like just for the summer or whatever. So he needs help. So here comes Teddy. Now she becomes a nanny for the summer. So it's kind of like enemies to lovers, but like not really. Like it was enemies to friends to lovers, because they actually started getting along, and I loved that. I love seeing them as actual friends and getting along instead of just immediately jumping to being lovers. It was great. And Riley, which is the kid, she is so cute. I can't. Alright guys, so these are the 11 books that I read this month. I hope you got some recs from this, because there's actually a pretty decent good amount of good books. Even the books that I didn't like, still try them out if they were on your radar, because reading is subjective. You know, what I like, you might not like, and what I don't like, you might love. I don't know. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what this year brings for me and my channel, because I only really started at the beginning of December, like posting stuff on here. So I'm very excited to see how I grow, how my channel grows. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace!